Hello guys. You are on the channel Alice Reddit Stories. Enjoy watching. My wife went to a hen party but is it evasive about what happened? A mutual friend is dropping weird hints. My 33M wife, 30F, went to a hen party last week which was supposed to be dinner, drinks and dancing followed by board games at the bride's house. She doesn't like being away from home, so we were texting regularly through the evening. She sent me pictures of dinner, cocktails and her and the girls, etc. It got a bit weird when they got to the club after dinner though. She said there was a change of plan and that the maid of honor had arranged a surprise for everyone, but my wife didn't know what it was. They were going back to the maid's house for it where my wife had never been before. I messaged her to check they'd got there safe etc. but didn't hear back. I'm not one to panic, but my wife tends to get a bit panicky with new things, so I checked in with a mutual friend, 28F, who was also at the party to see if all was good. She replied quickly and said yep, my wife's name, loves the stripper. The friend hadn't thought twice about this apparently. I messaged her today and she voice noted me back a 30-second long groan, saying how hungover she'd been and that she wished there had been a stripper because drinking was the only way to enjoy the other activities. So I figured that was the surprise and I reply and laugh it off, saying great, I hope she has fun. About 15 minutes later I get pretty much the same text from her and my wife saying it was a joke, there was no stripper, just board games, and my wife sent me a picture of some generic board game on a table. My parents have recanted the threat to cut ties with me for not breaking up with my girlfriend, but they are still saying that she is not welcome back to their home and will never be part of our family. I'm honestly done with them at this point. She has done everything and more, including being willing to pay for his medical expenses, and my brother refused to even hear her apology, much less make his own or take any responsibility at all. At this point, I'm 100% behind my girlfriend just as my parents are 100% behind my brother. Many people commenting on the original post asked if my brother is racist or assumed that he is after I revealed what the argument was about. I'm honestly not sure how to answer that. My brother sometimes repeats racist talking points from TV and social media, especially against Hispanic people, but last year he was strongly against the deportation of a neighboring family who had immigrated from Mexico. He even, probably facetiously, suggested that their deportation was a conspiracy to undermine Trump's immigration policy by deporting good people instead of violent criminals. I have never heard my brother use a racial slur or seen him treat anyone differently because of their race. I guess the answer depends on how you define racism. When she got home it was about 2 a.m. and she woke me up by falling through the door with her friends who I could hear were definitely very merry. They dropped her and went, and she came and said hello, then went straight for a shower. The mutual friend sent me a message saying in a hugely drunken jumble something along the lines of you might not want to kiss her on the mouth lol. I mentioned this to my wife when she was out of the shower and she turned bright red. She said she'd thrown up in the street and she didn't want to talk about it. She lay down in bed and fell asleep pretty quick. This was obviously the biggest, weirdest red flag. I sat down with my wife this evening and we talked through it. I told her everything I remembered about her coming home etc., what she and her friends said and what the evidence seemed to point to. Her explanation is actually something a few of you touched on, those dumb hen party games. Apparently the game, cringing called wife training, was to deep throat a cucumber. Whoever got the deepest would win some plastic trophy with a picture of a knob on it. Great stuff. She said she didn't want to, but also didn't want to be a wet blanket, so she tried, but it pretty much instantly made her gag and throw up quite a large amount of babasino, which she said is some manner of cocktail. She offered to show me on the party WhatsApp group some of the other girls doing it, as some had got really into it and were trying really hard to win. The thumbnail was enough for me to believe her and also not want to see any more. She apologized for saying she threw up in the street, but said she was embarrassed about participating in the game and throwing up over herself. This was also why the shower when she got home. Curiosity got the better of me, and I messaged the friend back and asked how come my wife had thrown up as she didn't seem that drunk. She replied and said, again, drunkenly, she didn't throw up though, there was definitely gagging, lol. Again, I questioned this when I spoke to her and asked what the message had meant. She replied cucumber, which honestly seemed to be supporting the blowjob theory at the time, but after talking to my wife it makes sense that she was referring to the cucumber gag game. I know what the friend is hinting at, but I've let it lie since then. I don't know how to approach it with anyone, and my wife has been more quiet than usual since. I'm not a confrontational person by nature, so I really don't know what the next step is. Update. Okay, wow. Thanks everyone for your messages. I've been at work all day, but checking in as and when I could. I appreciate the many messages of support and encouragement, and in a weird way the people who told me to drop my wife immediately. Your guidance, be it one way or the other, helped me through this. I've updated the original post above with the relevant explanations she's given me. I'm completely satisfied that she was safe, if stupid, and that she didn't choose to, or wasn't coerced into, sexually activity with another person. She's reading over my shoulder as I'm writing this, and she says, hello Reddit. Thanks everyone, and for the many people who wanted an update, I hope you're as happy as I am with how it's ended. Update 2. The overwhelming majority are telling me not to believe her, and I get it. If a stranger told me this sequence, I'm sure I'd be skeptical too. I know the partner of the woman whose flat it was, and he checked the ring triggers for the whole day. The only people in and out were him, his partner, and the hen party. They live in a first-floor flat with safety windows, so unless the stripper was made of paper and posted through a window or stuck in a handbag, there literally wasn't one. I didn't want to go all Big Brother on this, but honestly it's bothering me thinking that people are still scorching my wife because of stupid drunk judgment. No more updates after this, and I'm not engaging anymore because people are adamant I'm karma farming when I just want this over now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. There are many interesting stories ahead of you.